Professional trucker, known simply as Porkchop, is here once again to regale us with episodes of The Road. Having temporarily lost his CDL, Porkchop has left the big rig and taken to driving for Uber and Lyft. Here with true stories, whether you believe him or not, please welcome Porkchop.
I go my own way, Dana.
And which way would that be, Porkchop?
Quickest way to get there. I got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'll be damned. You look like one of them fellers I picked up in the Castro one day.
Yep. Just an artist.
Takes all kinds, I guess.
Just an artist looking for a canvas over here.
Dana, you keeping the greasy side down?
The greasy side is sweating into a chair right now.
I think we found something in common. You want to feel this backside right here? Tell you what, denim, they say denim breathes in it. No.
No, sir.
Wet. Hot and wet.
It's a textile of Christ right there. Keeps you nice and protected. Keeps you put away.
Dana, I don't...
Keeps
Dana,
you put away from the devil is what my grandmother used to say.
She sounds like a good woman.
She was abusive. She'd hit you very fast. Very, very fast to hit. Eunice, my grandmother.
Well, all right then. Dana, I don't know why you got me on this show, because I know y'all ain't gonna believe me, so.
I didn't know we were having this show.
Well, I tell you anyway.
I thought it was going to be something a lot different when I showed up here wearing a chestless cardigan.
You know, I knew this gal back at the Loves. She said that whenever she got dialed up like that, she put a little piece of toilet paper over her nipple.
Mm-hmm.
Keep things from sticking like that.
Yep.
Did you put a little piece of toilet paper
I did not. I did not. And in fact, I tried to remove one of these bookmarks as a funny gesture when I mentioned the bookmarks and might have lost the tip of my nipple. Just the tip. The areola landing pad.
It's gonna hurt.
Feels good, but the tip.
Did you shave?
Absolutely not.
So you do understand when you rip them suckers off, you're gonna have X-shaped bare breasts.
We can only hope at this point. We can only hope. Is my leg out far enough for you? I wanted to make sure.
I tell you what, Dana, I might throw into a jackknife now and then, but I don't swing that way. You know what I mean?
Hey, I get it. I get it.
Well, I want to tell y'all something here. Don't mind me sharing some episodes of The Road.
No, it's what we introduced you for.
Due to unforeseen circumstances that I didn't know about, I lost my CDL. That's another story, but I ain't gonna stop Porkchop from putting the hammer down. I mean,
Mine's down, bud.
I mean, speed.
My hammer is down.
These days I'm rolling for Uber and Lyft, picking up folks like it. Basically, I'm hauling human livestock, coast to coast. I ain't your average gear jammer. You can ask anybody who's crossed my path. I'm gonna dip into my memoirs. I like to call episodes of The Road. Here we go, mile 175. I had a Lyft ride across town during rush hour. The traffic was tighter than a lot lizard on her first day. You know what I mean? Well, that didn't bother me. I put my Chevy Malibu into gear, and as I pulled up to the busiest intersection in the city, I noticed a delivery truck blocking my lane. Whole way blocked. Moving some milk across the street to a Starbucks. They got lots of Starbucks here on civilian roads. You know that, Dana?
I have noticed them, yes. By civilian roads, you mean the city, public, county roads?
That's right, Dana.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's no way around it. Of course, you got to have the reflexes of a man who's been driving rigs through mountain passes for almost his whole dang life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't hesitate. I whipped the Chevy Malibu into a perfect 180-degree turn. Made that dairyman shit his pants like he was lactose intolerant. And squeezing between two stopped cars like they was nothing more than cones on a driving course. As I slid around the corner, I swear the tires barely made a sound, and my passenger didn't even know what happened until we were already halfway down the block. He just looked at me and said, "I can't believe you just did that." You get used to it when you're driving something bigger, I said with a grin, already eyeballing the next obstacle ahead. Don't worry, I got my passenger to his destination on time, even if he did mean a few crates of 2% exploding all over the street. See, Dana, when you're a knight of the road, you have to follow a code. We have a code we live by. If somebody needs to get somewhere, we get them there.
Like the Uber service agreement.
Yeah, they say that there's a service agreement. They got them computers you're supposed on your phones that tell you where to go. I don't like being told what to do. I go my own way, Dana. I just put a CB radio on my dashboard, call it a day. We're gonna move on now. We're gonna move on down mile
I am not sure
226.
how a CB radio could possibly get you hooked into the Uber network.
Well, it don't, Dana. That's the whole point. Mile 226.
Just for the listeners at home, I want to mention that a lot lizard is a truck stop sex worker.
Oh, I thought that was common knowledge.
No, sir, it is not. Please continue.
Mile 226. All right, buckle up, because y'all ain't going to believe this. I don't even know why. I don't know why I'm even going to tell you. You ain't gonna, hell, I'll tell you anyway. This is a good one. I pick up with a weird dude, and he's got me driving down some sketchy part of town when this punk in a backseat pulls a gun on me, thinking he's going to rob me. Well, I don't scare easy, you see. I ain't your average gear jammer. I looked in the rear view, gave him a grin, and I put the hammer down. We was going in double nickels. Know what I mean, Dana?
Double nickels?
Double nickels. 55. In a 35. That punk started shaking and told me to slow down just before I ran straight into one of them concrete blockades. Why? Let's just say one of us forgot to put a seatbelt on. That's right. I went straight through the windshield. Sure, my arms got busted up a little, some cuts on my face, but I tucked into a somersault, did a swan dive right in the river. Punk didn't even realize there was a bear and camo parked by the bridge. Nobody gets the best of Porkchop.
Absolutely not in that story.
I got a good one about this bachelorette party I picked up one night, but I'm a gentleman, and I just can't share that tonight.
That's probably best.
We're going to move on here to mile 385. So I get this ride request from a fella downtown just as the whole city decides to throw a protest and block every damn road in sight. Traffic's backed up worse than a truck stop toilet at lunch hour, and this guy's got to get to the airport in 15 minutes or he's missing his flight. I mentioned that code, Dana. Night of the road. Now, most drivers would have pulled over and called it a day, but not Porkchop, no. I slapped that Uber sticker on my rear view, slammed the pedal to the floor, tossed my trucker bomb out the window, and fired up that little Chevy Malibu like it was a Freightliner full of diesel. Trucker bomb's
Bottle of piss.
That's right, Dan.
That's right. Yeah. I tried to think what you might own, and I thought not much, and then went to what would this guy most likely be in possession of? Bottle
Everything
of piss.
I own can fit in the cab of a car, Dana.
I believe you.
The road is my home and my realm. You ever on an on-ramp or off-ramp and you see a bunch of bottles in the grass? Trucker bombs. I don't know about you, Dana. You know what, Dana? I bet you're like me. You got to use them Gatorade bottles because they got the big wide
Big
mouths
top on them.
Yeah, big top.
That's right.
Yeah. So here I'm trying to get down to this airport. First thing I did.
That was a fat penis comment from you, correct?
Dana, this is odd for me. You're navigating me into a territory I'm unfamiliar with.
Well,
That just don't happen.
maybe you're born into it.
It could be, Dana. Who could say what my destiny is?
No.
Anyway.
Destined for a Gatorade bottle, I'll tell you that much. I know the feeling. Ain't no way you're going to mush that into a Diet Coke guy.
Ain't no way, Dana.
Not going to happen.
Not to mention, it only holds about 16 ounces. I mean, come on, man.
Powerade. Powerade's a little bigger.
Well, good for you, Dana. I didn't expect to go down this avenue.
It's longer than you think, but yeah. It went a little longer than you thought.
Well, I'm going to get back to taking this feller to the
Sort of
airport.
filled up
on-
your
on
day a
time.
little
We had
bit.
15 minutes to get to the airport. Remember that part of the story I was telling?
I don't remember what we were
Well,
talking
anyway,
about.
I'm trying to get this guy through a shitload of
All
traffic.
right, we started
now.
talking about a couple of guys having big.
No, we have moved on. Save that for your friends on burlesque
go ahead.
trivia or trivia burlesque or whatever it is y'all do. So I'm trying to get through all this traffic. Ain't no way. Well, I called in a favor to old Jimmy. Now, I don't want to get my good buddy in trouble. Jimmy ain't his real name, of course. If Mike Fowler ever found out I put him in one of my stories, I'd never hear the end of it. Called him up on the city's traffic control center. See, when you've spent a couple decades on the road, you get a few connections. Traffic lights, Jimmy changed them for me in a second. Now the streets were clearing like Moses parting the Red Sea, and I'm flying through green lights, cutting through lanes like a bad bologna sandwich through a GI tract. The honking horns just background music at this point, and pretty much music to my ears. My passenger, this nervous fella is sitting there white knuckling. His seat, much like yours, I imagine, Dana. He says, what are you doing? I said, don't worry. We're going to make it there on time, I tell him. Swerving through traffic like it ain't nothing. Now we're getting close to the airport, and I wouldn't you know, there's a bear with his ears on, sitting at the entrance just waiting to ruin my whole damn day. Well, I ain't going to be stopped. You never seen a trucker take a detour? Hell, I driven a rig through a cornfield to get around a set of scales, know what I mean? So I pull a hard U-turn, head down an alley, and give the old Dave Burton from the tow company, let's just call him Jimmy, I give him a quick shout out on the CB. Next thing I know, a couple of tow trucks pulling random vehicles out of the way, creating a straight path right to the airport entrance. I put that Chevy Malibu in high gear, slid through the parking lot right by the gate, all before my passenger could even blink. I got him there, 5 minutes to spare. He looked at me, face like a possum on his first day on the highway. How'd you even do that? He asked while looking real nauseous. I just grinned, winked, and said, when you've hauled freight through every weather condition and traffic jam on this continent, a little city mess don't stand a chance. Then he couldn't hold it back and blew everything but his guts up all over my dashboard, biscuits and gravy everywhere. You know what happens when you get human vomit in your blower motor, Dana?
Blower motor is just the blower motor on a car?
Right.
No, I don't. Go ahead.
Don't turn your heater on. That's all I got to say. Anyway, I don't think I can do this Uber Lyft thing for much longer. I'm going to go back to school and get my CDL back. In the meantime, maybe I'll take to driving a school bus. I'll get back on the horse someday, and when I do, you better believe I'll have some more stories for y'all. Because I ain't your average gear jammer. Dana?
She call me Jaina?
Jana? It's hard to think straight. I don't want to make eye contact with you.
Why? Why don't you want to look over here?
Well, you're
Porkchop?
making me, I won't lie, you're making me a little uncomfortable. Porkchop out, QRT.
Not your average gear jammer, Porkchop.